Hi, I'm RescueCat. Many of you will know me from my Yu-Gi-Oh page, RescueCatDuelist. I'm the artist who makes all the cartoons for Facebook, and I've started a YouTube. Now, to let you guys get to know me, I thought I'd answer some questions that people had asked me from the page. 1 minute. So I have like a hella bunch of them, so I'm gonna have to go through them really quickly, but I really hope this gets you to know me better. So, okay. Talk about what is played at my local tournaments. Okay, my local tournaments are Escape Games Coventry, because I live in the UK, I live in England. And what's played is like, there's like the extreme of the little kids who all seem to play Photon Galaxies or Blue Eyes, but always dragons, always a dragon deck. And then you've got like the more professional players who enter the tournaments with the latest decks. Like we've already got loads of Shadol and Yangtze players and Burning Abyss players, and they've barely even been out, and they've already built the whole deck in 2 days, and they're already playing them at the locals. So yeah. Okay, how I became an artist. Okay, I don't really consider myself much of an artist, but I got an adminship on Yu-Gi-Oh! Memes 3.0, which is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Page that had about 1900 likes at the time. So I was like, I didn't want to just make generic memes, so I just got a tablet for my birthday, so I just started doodling, and people really liked it, so I made my page. That's pretty much it. Okay, what events do you plan on going to? I would really like to go to regionals and Nats, but I haven't had the time so far because I'm in education at the moment, and I had exams during nationals and it really sucked because I'd love to go and like meet some people, because I know loads of people who go to these events, but I haven't had a chance to meet them yet. Okay, for men, how can you get your girlfriend or wife into the game? See, this is a really weird question because I know it's really rare for females to be into the game, but like they're no different from other people. If they want to be into the game, they'll be into the game. You cannot force them to be into the game. And I just got into it because my friends were into it. So if they like see you playing, and if you're involved in it, if they want to join in and like have a shared interest with you, I'm sure that would be like great, but you do not force them. That would really suck. Okay, why do I play Yu-Gi-Oh? I play Yu-Gi-Oh for fun. A lot of people play it to be competitive. I do not play to win, I play for fun. How did you get into the game? I said a minute ago, my friends just started playing it because they found some of their old cards, and I was like, I remember that stuff, and I got out my old box of cards and then I started playing because we found out Dueling Network was a thing, and I don't use it anymore, but when I started off I really did. What would I recommend for new players? I don't really know what this means very much, but I guess make sure you're going up against friends or people who won't judge at all with how slow you'll need to be to learn, because when I started I was just like awful, but I was around other people who were awful, so kind of eventually we like learned together, but I didn't feel pressured to be good because I was around those people, which I think is really super duper important, or you just feel like crap and then you don't want to play anymore. What hobbies do I have outside of Yu-Gi-Oh? Not much at the moment because I'm in school, but I play some video games. I have always played Pokemon. At the moment I'm playing Bravely Default for the 3DS, and I just got a Wii U, so I have Mario Kart. And I read manga. I don't watch anime very much. I prefer to read manga, which sounds really pretentious now that I say it, but I don't mean it like that. Where do you get your inspiration? Dueling, I guess? For my pictures, I just draw whatever happens. Like if I'm annoyed and something's a bit bullshit, mind my language, I will just draw it in a comic to express how I feel about it. Do you play the best decks or make the mediocre ones as good as possible? I play whatever the hell I want. I will just make a deck, and regardless whether it's good or bad, I'll just play it. Like at the moment I'm playing Morphtronics and they're not good, the build that I have, because I wanted to make it a power tool one, so it's very inconsistent, but I'm freaking in love with it. It's so much fun. How can you avoid getting ripped off by a card shark? I have been targeted a lot by card sharks due to my sex and the way I look. I think people think they can screw me over quite easily, and they think I'm oblivious to the game and that I'm just some girl who wants to play. But I'm actually really serious about it. I'd say the only advice I can give is to really, really, really know your, like, the price of every card you have. And I mean that, even down to like the ones that like maybe only 50p. I have an app called Yu-Gi-Oh! Prices UK that I will almost always check to see if I'm getting a fair deal, because yeah, I've had quite a lot of experience with card sharks, which really sucks, but I've gotten used to it and I'm actually a pretty decent trader now. How did you get into the game? I could have sworn I've already done that. Yeah, I have. Do you watch the anime? And if you do, what are your favorite decks or characters? I really, really, really love Yusei Fudo. I think he's my waifu. And Akiza Izinski, I can never say her second name. I love their decks and I love their characters. But my #1 favorite character will always be Joey Wheeler. Runner-up will be Tristan, just because they're the worst characters ever, but are completely lovable. Blue Eyes or Red Eyes? Red Eyes! Red Eyes every time, Joey Wheeler. Most underrated deck of the format. I'm completely biased since I actually play this deck, but I think Sylvans are probably, in my opinion, the most underrated deck of the format, because they are very difficult to play and make a solid build of, so a lot of people kind of don't get the ratios right of the monsters and everything, so they become a very slow and not very good deck. You know, even Hoban's build, I would never consider playing that. It looks horrible. Why would you run Upstart? Oh my god, just so overall I'd say they have a lot of potential, but the numbers of people playing them are quite low, and the number of people being able to efficiently play them is very low, so they're very, very underrated. What are your thoughts on the new meta? It's the same as the old meta. Staying out of that shit, you know? I'm just staying away from it. What was your first holo pull? I don't think you can see this, actually. I've got it on my wall. It is a secret marshmallow. I can't, premium pack #1. I can't actually remember getting this, but I can remember getting it as a kid, that I got it as a kid, and I definitely pulled it. So goodness knows where it came from, but yeah, I've got a marshmallow. Okay, how do I feel being a girl in a community full of boys? It's okay, but as I said, people can target me to kind of rip me off, and people tend to assume that I'll be bad at dueling and trading and everything. And also I get a lot of weirdos. I got quite a lot of weirdos who kind of assume, I don't know, they just kind of freak me out sometimes. I'm not even gonna go into it. Favorite archetype coming out? I'm gonna be playing Furnimals as soon as they come out. I don't even care how bad they are. I'm gonna be playing that deck. They're adorable. You hilariously depict many struggles against different decks, but what is your least favorite deck to play against? I mentioned earlier at my locals, all the little kids play Photon Galaxy or Blue Eyes, and they're all horrible. Like, the little kids that play Yu-Gi-Oh! At my locals are very cocky and very horrible bratty kids. So I'd have to say probably Photon Galaxy. I just hate those kids, like, come on. Thoughts on Pendulums and how they will affect the format? I think Pendulums, I think they're gonna, there's always a broken form of every card. Like, there will always be broken XYZs and synchros, there will always be, well, I'm not sure about rituals, but there will always be broken fusions. there will be broken pendulum decks because they're just new archetypes coming out. There will always be broken archetypes, and we cannot blame Pendulums for becoming part of that system that Konami has created. Talk about the possibility of Rescue Cat coming back. That ain't coming back. You're cray if you think it's coming back. It ain't coming back. It was so ridiculous. How/why did you start this page? As I said, I just picked up my tablet and I started drawing, and the page that I was on at the time boomed, so I was like, I'm gonna make my own page for like all the people who were following my comics and everything. First archetype you ever used. First archetype I used was actually Agents, and now I do not play that deck. I haven't played that deck since, but it was the first deck that I used. Don't ask me why. How do you plan on choosing the right deck to fit your playstyle? I really just find a card, and if I like the look of it, whether it be the appearance of the card art or the kind of effects that go off, I will just play it. Like there is no consideration whether how good it is or not. I play and I aim to make these decks good. I mean, I know Furnival's coming out and not going to be a good deck. Well, they might be a good deck when they come out, but at the moment they are terrible, so I'm gonna have to, you know, work very hard making it a good deck. Ever cosplayed? No, I haven't cosplayed. I would really like to though. Play any other card games? No, I don't. My friends have tried to get me, well, I've played Vanguard and watched Vanguard with my friends. I'm not very fond of it, and the Pokemon TCG card game, I do not like at all. Why do you love vanilla so much? Why wouldn't I like vanilla so much? Favorite YouTuber? I can't really decide. I have a lot of friends who are in Yugioh, so I think if I was to decide, it would be based on a more personal kind of decision, which doesn't really work. If Rescue Cat and Rescue Rabbit got in a fight, who would win? They would never fight. They'd work together to rule the world. Do you play Pokemon? Yes, I play Pokemon. I think you can see like a Pokeball here and like Pokemon cards here, which are just for display, and I'm pretty sure this is a Pikachu poster, so yes, I play Pokemon. I have every game bar 2, and they're like the parallel games are like I don't have Heart Gold, but I have Soul Silver. What type of music do you like, and do you play an instrument? A lot of people are actually very surprised by the music I like, because it varies from punk, like rock punk, 70s punk, to drum and bass. I think Pendulums probably my favorite band of all time. But then I also like some really dweeby things like David Bowie. It's just, most of it's quite hard. Like, I like harder music, but I'll occasionally kind of just listen to some crazy 70s music, don't ask. Ever inspired young kids to play? I've tried to make my little brother play, but he is dyslexic and he can't be bothered to read the cards, so it didn't really work out. So no, I've never done that. Do you prefer to play passive decks and aggressive decks, OTK decks, or control decks? It doesn't matter to me. I'm not really a big fan of control decks actually. I like quite aggressive decks. I don't like OTK decks. So I guess I'd say passive or aggressive. I wouldn't like the OTK ones. Generally with OTKs, the problem I have is that if they don't get off the OTK, they lose all their versatility. And they don't have quite the same options that they once did, and it's a bit, I don't really like that. And I like to have fun doing the duel, so if your opponent doesn't even get to play because you're playing a control deck, it's kind of defeats the point. You know, which is kind of why I'm against kind of Evil Swarm, Ophion plus Kaiser Colosseum. Kaiser Colosseum is just not a nice card. It doesn't allow the opponent to play very often unless they're very lucky and open with MST. So yeah, that's all the questions I got. I hope that you guys can tell a bit about me from this video, and hopefully I'll be uploading some more Yu-Gi-Oh related content later. But of course at the moment I'm just uploading an initial video for you guys to get to know what I am like. I'm sorry this dragged on a long time. I'm really sorry if you sat through this, because that has just been me talking for like 15 minutes. But if you want to join me on my epic journey of Yugi tubing, that would be amazing. So I love you all.